Guys, what's going on? Guys, a little late. Had some day job stuff that was going on. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Keyshawn's here. Christopher's here. Steve is here. Liddy's here. Korg is here. What's up, guys? Guys, I'm going to drop the link early, right? Because this is going to be more of of a discussion, right? So, guys, feel free to dial in, guys, right? Because we can talk about mental health, right? You know? Let's do this. Yeah, guys. You know who's calling, guys? Call on it, right? Now, guys, this is Men's Mental Health Month. Did you guys know this? Let's see, guys. How long has Men's Mental Health Month been a thing? Okay, so as Men's Mental Health Month has been around since 1994. And let's see. And Pride Month was recognized in 1999. So, guys, we had our Men's Mental Health Month first. And then Bill Clinton, of course, the Democrats, gave our month away to the LDHD TVs. Look at that, guys. Are you shocked, guys? Because I am certainly am not. Red Door, how you doing? Good to see you, you know? This is an absolute joke, guys. And here's the thing. People look at the self-deletion rate and think that men are somehow more miserable than women, guys. If you believe that,
you've been had, you've been took, you've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Guys, there is no male there is no male loneliness crisis. Men are not more miserable than women. They're just not. Guys, women are more miserable than men, right? The only reason why you see more men self-delete is because we're better at it than them. You know what I mean? Seriously. Oftentimes, guys, men don't attempt it. They just do it. You know? Usually men get it right the first time because guys, men are just better than these 3 or 4s at everything. You know? This is how it works. Because how many times, because I guarantee, put a 1, everyone in this chat, if you know a chick that's attempted to self-delete, right? Because men don't do this as a cry for help, you know? If we are going through something and we want to kind of, do the end game, we just do it. Secret, you were in the military, right? How many guys did you know back then?
That deleted too.
Yeah, guys, that's back then. It's even worse now, you know. But here's the thing: in mainstream society, guys, women are more miserable than men. Women are more lonely than men. Women are showing physical signs of stress, right? They get PCOS, their hair falls out, their hormone levels get all messed up. Men are naturally built to deal with stress, and women aren't. You know? Guys, here. Now, one thing that I can say, guys, is this. You know what? I was going to say, guys, anyone who wants to join and tell us some stories, because hold on. Because I'm a very, very, very positive person. So I always have been. Every time you guys talk to me, I'm in a good mood, right? And guys, this is how I am in real life. I'm always just chilling, right? To the point where I've had coworkers in my office that are like, AJ, why are you always so happy? Because guys, you know what? I live in the United States of America, the greatest country on God's green earth, guys. I have a nice house. I have a good job. I have a nice car. I have no debt. You know, my girl doesn't drive me too crazy. As I am happier in the bug and rug. Even on my worst days, I've looked and I said, look, there's someone out there in some third world country with parasites in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? With worms
Plus-
going through their corneas. What do I have to complain about? What? What?
Plus, you have me and snowboard in your life. That can go either way, but
Yeah, but guys, I can say the one time that I can say that I was probably depressed, right, was the last year that I was with my ex in college. And guys, it was just bad. So I graduated from college. I was working this job that two jobs that, and one of them was just, you know what I mean? And then this chick that I was with, she was a miserable piece of trash. I was having some, that's back before my migraines were untreated. So I was getting migraines twice a day. It was horrible, guys. I don't know how I got through it, but that is the one time where I could really think that I was actually depressed, you know, that I was actually like not doing good, man, mentally. And it was all these it was a combination of things. I would say it was a good 9 months, you know? And when you truly are kind of in a rut, guys, it's like the whole world is like the sounds turned down. You're just kind of like watching everything just go by. It's very, 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 very strange, you know? So I look back on that moment of my life as like rock bottom, you know? And even that wasn't that bad. But that was the only time I can think of where I can't think of a silver lining. I can't think of anything positive that was going on. But here's the thing, guys. I got myself out of it. What I realized, guys, is that things weren't that bad, and everything that was making me crazy, I mean, depressed, was in my control. I drop kicked that stupid broad that I was with. I quit those two jobs. I moved to a different state, changed my environment. You know what I'm saying? And everything else kind of put itself into place. You know? But guys, only you can make a change. What helps men's mental health is empowering oneself and being useful to someone, even if it's just yourself, guys. Men need a purpose. Men need a reason for being. And guys, even making yourself that purpose is good enough. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you saying, I want to be rich. What's wrong with that? That's a purpose. I want to be rich. I want to be a millionaire. I want to live comfortably. I want to be able to get to a point where I never have to worry about money again. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Wanting to acquire wealth, status, all these other things for your own sake and not to get chicks or to impress other people. See, guys, if you're doing these things to impress chicks, that's a hollow. That's not an actual purpose. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to get resources so you can get married, have kids, have a legacy, that's different. But these guys just want to get chicks, center women. That's not a purpose. It's a fake one. Secret, you're saying? Secret?
Just out of curiosity, when you were going through your challenges, how much, if any, did your brother and or a good, strong community or friend group, did that contribute or help to help you get through that?
Well, one thing that I can say, guys, and put a 1 if you agree that like 90% of men's mental health problems come from women. I would say 9 out of 10, guys. The other 10% is, maybe you got hit by a car and you're paralyzed, or you're born with one arm, you know what I'm saying? Or your dad died or whatever. It's external. But 90% of men's mental health problems come from dealing with women. I'm serious, guys. It really does. One of the reasons why I actually think that I was doing so poorly is because my ex was like, women have a way of isolating you. You know what I'm saying? We used to go out, hang out all the time. And then one day she just decided not only is she not going to go anywhere, but she's going to give me hell every time I want to go anywhere. And over time, you just start doing what she says because you just don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? This nagging. So you kind of get isolated, you know? But what actually made me come out of that was we used to go out, hang out, party, and all this stuff. It was my good friend's birthday, and I went out, and everyone's like, "Hey, J-Man, where you been? We haven't seen you in like 5 months." And I realized, wait a minute, something's wrong. I haven't been like out to do anything in months. So then the next weekend comes, I try and go out. She's like, "Oh, I think we should stay home." I'm like, "And do what? You better dance a jig or do a backflip to entertain me because we don't do anything." You know what I'm saying? Sit at home and do nothing. Guys, put a 1 if you agree. Women don't want to do anything. All they know is that they don't want you to do what you want to do, right? Right, guys? They have no hobbies. They have no interests. They have no nothing. That's why the average chick spends, 6.5 to 7 hours a day scrolling on her phone. But then we'll judge you for playing golf, playing paintball, fixing your cars, playing with your band. And this brings me to this, guys. Hold on. You guys remember the Big Bang Theory? Did you ever watch the Big Bang Theory?
Obsessively.
Okay. Question for you. What were Raj, Wolowitz, Leonard, and Sheldon always doing?
Pretty much playing games, talking about, helping each other in their various career projects, comic book shop, going to Comic-Con, stuff like that.
They were always doing stuff. They were always playing Dungeons and Dragons. They were talking about comic books. You know what I'm saying? They were always flying like fighter kites. They were always doing stuff. And what did the girls do?
Drink.
Nothing.
Drink.
Sat around and drank wine like a bunch of drunken 304s, man. Like a bunch of drunken 304s.
Talking about whores, people. They're everywhere.
That's all they, and then talk bad about the men. And you wonder why men are so much happier than women, especially older men. We have more disposable income. You know? They didn't do anything, and they had the nerve to judge the guys. What a joke. That's the one thing about this show that absolutely drove me insane. And then the other part too was Wolowitz went to space. He was an astronaut, and his wife disrespected him because she made more money than him working for Big Pharma. Only a couple hundred people have been to space in all of history. Nothing that this broad will ever do will equate to her husband going to outer space. What a joke. Those are the two biggest things about this show that just drives me absolutely up the wall. Guys, and then oftentimes they would get in the way of these guys trying to do their hobbies. Sheldon likes Star Trek. Sheldon likes comic books. He's been doing that since he was little, and his girlfriend's like, "You got to pay attention to me, please." Calling things childish. But anyways.
There was one point,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going to bring this up, but you already brought it up, that when you said 90% of a lot of men's mental health challenges involve women. And I was going to bring that up. That's why I wanted to join the stream. But the two people that I know that did delete themselves, it was because of women in custody.
Yeah. Yep. That's true.
So, yeah.
Guys, and can I please tell you guys, never, ever, 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 ever open up to chicks. Never. You know? Guys, don't, because they will use it against you later on, guys. They keep it in the pocket like ammunition. You know? And the moment them off, You're cooked. You're cooked. Guys, nobody cares about men's mental health except for other men. You have to have other productive, competitive, assertive, ambitious men in your life that you can talk to. You can ask for advice. Older guys like your dad, your granddad, your uncles, or whatever that you can talk to. But guys, don't ever listen to women about the only women that I would say that you could probably listen to if you have a friend who's a foreigner. You know what I'm saying? Who's from like a rough country, you know? Maybe his grandma or his mom, you know, because they grew up around men, like men being men and women being women, you know? You guys, here you go. Let's look at this, right? This shows how much women give a damn about men's mental health. Hold on, guys. Damn it. Where'd this stupid broad go? Hold on. Hell. Hold on.
Some men will choose.
Hold on, guys. Keep going.
Yeah, while you're looking that up, and I find it so insane. I didn't know this was, Men's Mental Health Month, and I didn't know that this was 1992. That this has been something that's been around literally several years before Pride Month, and it's insane. You see Pride Month all around, and I think one of the reasons why they probably did it for June was because they probably believe that men, we're not going to say nothing, we're not going to complain about it, because at the end of the day, a man, no one really cares about a man's trials, tribulations, and struggles, and as men, it's not masculine to go around talking about this either. It's there's shame put on that. It's insane.
But here's the thing: we don't like burdening people. Right? I think that's the number one thing about it is we don't like being a burden, and we don't like wasting time and effort. And we know that it's going to be a waste of time. And guys, you cannot live for the approval and the validation of women. You can't, guys. You can't. Cannot. Because let's look at some of these idiots, and then we'll look at how Men's Mental Health Month is covered in the news. Here we go, guys.
We need to go back to when we didn't care about men's emotions, for real.
Well, at least they were brave enough to show their face, for what that's worth. But unfortunately, we don't live in an ideal world. Because in an ideal world, everyone would care about everyone else, to include their overall well-being as well as their mental health, regardless of their gender orientation, so on and so forth. Yet sadly, we live in this reality, which is full of very selfish individuals who lack a basic knowledge and basic understanding of what mental health actually means to a great many people. And they also have failed to take into consideration what actually happens when men suffer from poor mental health in some cases. But that would involve actually thinking things through.
Fuck men's mental health. Fuck it. Fuck all of that shit.
How about no? A lot of us aren't in the habit agreeing with the most ignorant of individuals that would actually make such a statement, let alone agree with it.
Now, guys, once again, there's a difference between actually having mental health problems. Like there are people born with chemical imbalances that give them depression and schizophrenia. Because I would say that the majority of mental health issues that men and women would have would be fixed if they actually had something to do. Guys, idle hands do the devil's work, right? Idle minds are the devil's playground. Abundance leads to these quote unquote mental health issues. We live in the best time ever, but have the most miserable people ever. It's absolutely insane. You guys think that they know what depression and stuff is in freaking Lesotho, in Paraguay? No, because they're worrying about where the next meal is coming from. You know? Hold on, guys. Where was that one? Other idiot. Hold on, guys.
I have met one woman ever who legitimately complained that her boyfriend cried too much. Other than that, I do not understand. In my personal experience, my personal circles, my men are always going like, we can't cry, we can't emote, no one will let us. Like, I do think a lot of that pressure is actually self-imposed.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Because how many times have you guys seen on these podcasts? It's okay for a guy to cry or complain, but not too much. So it's arbitrary. You know what I'm saying? It's up to the woman to decide on the fly how you can emote, how much you can. Guys, don't do it. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it.
I've ever heard say like, oh, I can't cry in front of others, never cried in front of me. Like, they didn't even try. They didn't even give me an opportunity to fail them. Like, you have to give people a chance to fail you instead of assuming it. Or if they did cry in front of me and I was like kind and normal, they'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, you must think less of me now. And it's like, I didn't say that. You said that. You're the one thinking
this is control, guys. This is control. Right? Or some type of validation where they can feel important enough for you to cry around. They're not doing this altruistically, guys. They aren't doing this to actually be of a benefit, to actually try and counsel anyone or help them through things. No.
You fear judgment from your partners and from your loved ones, but you don't even give them a chance to fail you and to judge you before you've already decided that they'll do it. Therefore, you cannot emote. I know there are exceptions. I know there'll be someone in my comments being like, actually, one time I cried when my entire family died in a plane crash, and then my girlfriend kept making 9/11 jokes. That sucks. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Your girlfriend is a terrible person. You still can cry, though. When men say men can't cry, that has to imply that the majority of time, to the majority of women would not let them cry, would make fun of them, or just completely crush them when they cry. I do not think that's what's happening. The majority.
You obviously don't date or deal with women in a romantic way, or you would know how stupid this video is. Women want a man to cry, but only to a certain ambiguous and arbitrary point. Then they get the ick. You have no idea what you are talking about. And I hope any man who reads this hears me when I say to never, ever open up to a woman. I'm writing a dissertation, anything you say can and will be used against you. Post. Well, that took a while.
When it comes to relationships, women are the ultimate manipulators. You can't convince me otherwise, because one, how are you going to turn, flip, and Uno reverse everything on him every single time he tries to actually tell you how he's feeling, and then all of a sudden it's, oh, well, you did this to me 3 months.
Guys, put a 1 if you agree that women, you will tell them how you feel, and then they'll go on and on about how that made them feel. And then all of a sudden they'll expect you to apologize for how you made them feel. What a joke. What an absolute bunch of BS, guys. Let's see. Let's see. Guys, give me a second. There's some news stories popping up here that I have to figure out here. Okay. Guys, please hit the like button on the way in, please. I'd appreciate that, you know. And let me just do this quick and do this. Yeah. But guys, stay positive, guys, and always realize that things could always get better. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is hopeless. The only thing I can say is, guys, I don't want to be a quadriplegic or horribly burnt. If that happens to me, guys, take me out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not going to be some inspirational story of some guy that's yay all of a sudden. No way, dude. No way. Even I'm not that positive. You know? Okay. Guys, so here we go. Let's finish this.
Ago, and y'all already hashed it out, but here it is on the surface again because it's convenient for you. Not only that, but women are the ultimate players, because how are you going to start a relationship with a man, be throwing it back for him in the beginning, he locks it down with a ring, marries you, you pop out a couple of kids, and then it's no more Pound Town. That shit is shut down. Those legs are locked, closed, and tight. And now you're complaining to your friends that he's not the man that you wanted him to be or expected him to be. Man, men are not complicated creatures. They're really not. Feed them and fuck them. Feed them, fuck them, and keep them happy. And that's how.
Now that's good for your mental health, right, guys?
Like, it's not hard science. If you're doing those two things, I guarantee you that man is going to show up for you in ways that you never imagined. My man will move mountains for me. He will go through any bullshit for me because he's fed and he's fucked and on the regular. Okay.
And she is right, guys. She is right. Guys. You can, okay. Oh, and guys, secret, unmute. Could you just, guys, never, ever listen to these female coaches for men? Never, ever, guys. Come on. That has to be the dumbest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. Oh, a female men's coach. You know what I mean? What a joke. What a joke. Guys, that's the absolute worst.
I don't know. Last time I checked, men's.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
I'm sorry for the jump scare, guys. Look at this thing right here. Good God. Holy moly. Look at that.
Don't give a fuck about men's mental health.
It kind of makes you wonder who they checked with.
So I don't know why we're dogpiling a woman for not giving a fuck that men are hijacking another month to call it their mental health month.
How can they be hijacking a month that is actually Men's Mental Health Month? It's almost like it's in writing out there somewhere.
Can we please, go outside and interact with real human beings for once? Be fucking for real.
I have a question. So does that mean those that celebrate the fact that it's National PTSD Awareness Month, are they also hijacking another month? Or does that not make any sense either?
The only time I've seen men make think pieces about mental health is when it's in response to women talking about their mental health and their struggles.
Please. We all know that that's the opposite, guys. Anytime us men talk about anything, women try to co-opt it. Because the only reason why they talk about the male loneliness epidemic is because there's a female loneliness epidemic. And they cannot just say that something's one-sided because, guys, men love being alone. Guys, how many of you guys know guys that are married in relationships that would kill to be a part of the male loneliness epidemic? Their paradise is being alone for long stretches of time, you know?
Let me be brutally honest. I highly doubt that there's a long line of individuals that are going to put a lot of weight in some individuals' actual opinions about that matter.
Have whatever month you have. I don't give a fuck. Work on it yourself, baby. We've been working on it ourselves all these fucking years. You can do the same fucking thing. You don't need to hold back.
That's a demon.
I'm not gonna say nothing. I want to say something so bad, but I'm not.
Look at this. Good God.
Fucking hands. The fuck?
How interesting. But despite the negative statements that some individuals make, gentlemen, I would like to remind you that there are quite a lot of men, as well as some good women out there, that really do care about your mental health.
Guys,
Last time I checked,
let's look at this dunderhead right. Right, look at
Oh,
look at this.
I'm so glad you brought up that point specifically, actually, because it's always very sad to me whenever I see these news articles of teenage boys, you know, minors reporting their adult female teachers for essaying them and grooming them. All I see in the comments are a bunch of men, grown-ass men that know better, going, oh, who snitched? I just want to talk. If I had teachers like that in school, I would be valedictorian.
How is someone so off-putting? Its voice, its tattoos, its rabbits tattooed on its chest. I don't even know what to call this thing, guys. This probably is one of the most off-putting pieces of garbage that we've ever had on this channel. I just can't. I just can't, guys. Why? Why would you like, guys? What would you guys know? What would give me mental health issues? If I raised a daughter for like 18 years and she ended up like this. I'm serious. You have put a 1 if you agree that you failed as a parent if you raised some idiot dunderheaded moron who looks like this, guys. How much Zoloft do you think this person's on? That is some scary, scary stuff, right?
Well, you can't expect someone to care you can't expect someone to care about other people when they don't give a buck about when they don't even give a buck about their face.
Yep. Hold on 1 second. Okay.
Now women care about men mental health. No, we don't.
Jackie Leonard, he has a healthy wife and baby. Thank God and get on with your life. For F's sake, how many men have lost their wife or baby? Go see a counselor. And this is what men mean when we say women don't care about our mental health, because this man poured his heart out to me. And if you watch the videos of the story that I told, there's some real feelings going on. It's some, like, just because it's not important to you, woman, doesn't mean that it's not important.
Yeah, but the only thing that's important to women is themselves. Guys, women don't care about anyone. They don't care about other women. They don't care about their children. They don't care about society, and they certainly don't care about men. You know, guys, what a joke.
Yeah, there are some men that have lost their wives during labor and delivery. But does that negate from the fact that there are some men that had to watch their wife hemorrhage, bleed out, had to hear her scream and not be able to help her? Do you think somebody that you love, that you cherish, that you want to protect, that in this moment that you can't do nothing for them?
Boo-hoo. Guys, once again, this is why you just don't have kids. You know what I'm saying? He is right, guys, but once again, guys, Secret, what's the number one cause of divorce?
Marriage.
And getting married. What's the number one way that you can avoid crying when your wife passes away and whatever? Is just don't have a kid. You know?
Unpopular opinion, but I hate seeing men cry. If a man is crying, it will only be in the presence of other women or alone. Never will you see
What?
a man crying in the presence of other men. If you see a woman crying,
That's not true. That isn't true. Guys, the end of Saving Private Ryan. The end of Rocky 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? The end of Braveheart, right? Right? Secret. You know?
Yeah.
There are plenty of times where, guys, here are the times where it's okay for men to cry in public, all right? And guys, put in the chat what times are okay. Guys, guys movies, right? Saving Private Ryan, Rocky, any type of Last Stand or whatever in a movie. When your mom, dad, brother, uncle, child dies, yes, a man can cry in public. Guys, don't let anyone judge you for crying. If you're a father whose daughter's getting married to a man who's worth a damn at the wedding, guys, you can cry. Sorry, that's just the way it works. If you've raised a good daughter and she met a good guy, and you know that they're going to build a life together, and there's a beautiful ceremony, guys, you can cry. You can. When your kid is born, right? I'm not a father, but hey, the first time you hold your kid in your arms, fine. Hey, rock and roll. I would say at a man's retirement party. You know what I'm saying? If you work for 25 years, or if you were in the military and your last day of your 20 and you get out, you can cry, guys. You know? I would say that that's okay. If you lose your dog or your cat or whatever, and you get him back, they find him and that dog comes back, I would say, yeah, you can cry. Other than that, guys, no, don't do it. Don't cry in public. Don't cry, guys.
it's usually surrounded by other women.
Oh, and guys, never trust a woman who's crying in public or on the internet. The only time a woman's actually crying for real is when she's crying by herself where no one can see. Any other type of crying is manipulation. So,
Or supported by a man. Men will not cry in front of each other. Most men will only cry if they even let themselves alone. From a really young age, you're taught that you have to be tough. You gotta be macho. But let me tell you this, as a woman, you are not being macho for me.
see? You guys see how she made men's crying all about herself? You see that, guys? You see? Guys, once again, the women make this all about themselves.
Just like a woman.
Guys, we can't even have a mental health conversation without them making this about themselves.
You're being macho for your homies. You're not being strong for me because I don't want you to be. You're being strong for other men. As a woman, I am happy to be there for you and to support you emotionally. You know, women are nurturers. It genuinely makes my entire day to be able to be there for you and support you and nurture you and to take care of you. I can do that and I will do that. However, I am not a man. I cannot understand you in the way that other men should be able to understand you. Men, be there for each other. And I know you're wondering, who am I to tell men what to do? But if you're a man who has been struggling with stress, anxiety, maybe you have anger issues, that's because you're trying so hard to not have emotional problems.
You see that, guys? She thinks us men are women, right, guys? Men don't care about anxiety and stress and stuff because we have to get stuff done regardless. How many times have you guys seen men who are stressed out, pissed off after tragedy, and they throw themselves into their work. Because, guys, all in all, time is the only thing that heals all wounds, guys. When they say time heals all wounds, it is true, right? But the difference between men and women is women sit there and whine and moan and complain, whereas men fill the time with constructive things. Fixing cars, building stuff, reading, writing, being creative, doing things,
You're suppressing them. Hopefully, you're at least not dealing with it alone and you have a woman in your life that you can talk to. But if you don't, men need to reach out to each other. Y'all need to take better care of each other. I would love to live in a world where when I see a man crying, he's surrounded by a group of men taking care of him. I really just feel for you guys, and
men do take care of each other. We just make sure to ignore women like you. No man should ever cry in front of his girlfriend. She will use it against him or get the ick. You are a clown. Laughing face. Post. Oh, guys, hold on. So, guys, let's go back here. Hold on, guys. And thanks for being here, guys. I know, I believe it or not, guys. Any type of like motivational stuff for men that I do doesn't get a lot of traction. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, this doesn't. All the videos that I do on these dunderheaded 304s gets a lot more traction. But guys, we'll have to start doing more stuff like this. Okay, so guys, according to Google, it's saying men can proactively support their mental health by breaking the stigma of toughing it out and prioritizing healthy, actionable routines. Keys include physical activity. I agree with that. Hobbies, building support networks, and working with professionals to add stressors. Guys, no. Guys, therapy, no. Unless it's a male therapist, don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Okay, so 20 minutes of physical activity, lifting weights, jogging, yard work is good. Healthy outlets like woodworking, cooking, gaming. Well, I'm surprised that they put gaming on there. Give your brain a break from everyday stressors and provide a healthy sense of achievement. Build a network. Right, guys? I agree with all of those, right? Except for the therapist part, guys. Now, guys, here you go. Let's look at the news here. Let's look at how the news addresses this.
California is targeting the silent suffering of young men and boys throughout the Golden State. Governor Gavin Newsom issued an executive order directing a statewide response to improve mental health for this part of the population and reduce the stigma attached to it. Newsom saying in a statement that this action is about showing every young man that he matters and there's a path for him of purpose, dignity, work, and real connection.
I think we have, over the last several years, paid a lot of attention to girls and girls' mental health. And while that's great, I think sometimes what's gotten lost.
Oh no, look at that, guys. Look at that, guys. She took a break from terrorizing Tokyo.
And that shuffle is what boys and young men are going through, and other folks along the gender spectrum.
Mental health experts are on alert after a recent rise in suicides and a feeling of disconnection among young men and boys because they are less likely to ask for help until they're in crisis. The order.
You guys still see how they're blaming us? This issue is really bad, but it's all men's fault. When they talk about women's mental health, it's external factors. It's men, it's social media, it's this and that. But they always make this like we're the only one contributing to our own problem. And guys, I would still once again say 90% of men's mental health problems are caused by women. MGTOW men minding their own business are some of the happiest men on planet Earth, man. Guys who are living for themselves, putting their own needs first, are some of the happiest men on planet Earth, man.
Strengthens mental health support through the California Health and Human Services Agency, addresses California's crisis of loneliness in young men, and offers pathways to work, education, and support.
What makes this order something that's going to make a difference in our community?
The executive order recognizes.
You guys think that an executive order is going to fix something like this?
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
What a joke. What an absolute joke. An executive order, especially one from freaking Gavin Newsom. You know what I'm saying? Gavin Newsom, seriously?
Beta male. Is that we need a whole person approach, not just treating mental illness, but also investing in belonging, opportunity, and prevention.
Dr. Pardis Khosrafi is a clinical director at the Children's Health Council, an organization that offers comprehensive and integrative mental health services for youth in the South Bay. Khosrafi says aspects like recruiting more male role models in teachers and school counselors and promoting boys
they
and men
used to have that. It was called fathers, you dunce.
to participate in service makes this plan primed for success.
I really appreciate the focus in the executive order, not just on, the service delivery itself, which is really important, and looking at the data we have to identify gender disparities in the service we're providing, but also what else are we doing?
Governor Newsom said it best. Too many young men and boys are suffering and disconnected. This action is about turning that around.
Our top story tonight, a hard look at men's mental health. Statistics show men are 4 times more likely to die by suicide than women. June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and tonight we're confronting the stigmas that keep men from speaking up and getting help. News 9's Gabriella Johnson sat down with a licensed specialist and a law enforcement officer to say that it is time to change the conversation.
Do they just not have any pretty news anchors in California,
Gabriella, so what are some of the biggest misconceptions?
Well, Barbara, signs of struggling with mental health or living with depression show up differently between women and men. The specialist I spoke with says while more men are starting to seek professional help, she encourages everyone to look within themselves and listen to their bodies. On a busy street over the weekend, Alexandra Hicks holds a simple, bold message. Her sign reads, "If you're looking for a sign to stay."
And guys, hit the super chat button because this live stream won't be monetized after the fact. It just won't because of the topic. So
this is it.
With the boldness of that message directly, it's more so like it is kind of a shock value for people that can buy.
That's an ugly woman.
Like the message is clear. It's clear as day. If you're looking for a reason to stay, this is your sign.
As a Columbus police officer, Hicks has seen
that just keeps getting worse and worse, guys.
What happens when men suffer in silence, hitting her hometown Smith Station hard since 2020, and the daughter of a veteran living with PTSD.
Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. There is somebody out there that wants to hear you, that wants to know that, hey, tomorrow we're going to get up and we're going to face this. We're going to do this.
She says expectations for men to be tough and emotionless can be deadly.
With mental health and the endurance.
There you go, guys. This is why you don't listen. You guys notice how these women have the same, it's like a script they all read. You know what I'm saying? The tough macho thing, well, guys, there's no self deletions in the third world because it actually seems like in secret Do you agree? The more we've gotten away from traditional gender roles, the more that self-deletion happens.
Oh, most definitely.
You don't see
Yeah.
self-deletion in like South America, Africa, places where it's more traditional. You were saying?
And they have, and please believe me when I tell you that we live a better quality of life than they do. And what I mean, on average, because for the most part, we have the luxury of 40-hour work weeks, having 2 days off, having social safety nets such as Social Security, and things along those lines. So, yeah, you said it best yourself. We're fortunate enough to be in one of the greatest countries on this planet in this day and age.
Of especially mental health related disorders and diseases, the stigma needs to change. The conversation needs to start.
Licensed specialist Dr. Jaketra Bryant says many
Guys, are there no men that they can talk to? Isn't that nuts? They're talking to nothing but women about men's mental health. Isn't that nuts, guys? Insane.
and never make it into her office.
The percentage.
Oh yeah, guys. Yeah. Guys, I can tell you this with 100% certainty. The last place you want to go if you are having a mental health problem is this dunderhead's office, guys. Guys, you are better off going to the lion pit in the friggin' zoo. You were better off freaking going anywhere than dealing with this dunderhead.
Even wider if you're a man of color, if you're an older man. But you can't even physically be present or be a person that sustains a job if you don't have better and healthier thinking and better, healthier responses.
She says male depression often looks different.
Men often appear maybe manic or more busy. But at the same time, they're also a little distant. But you will see the person.
So in other words, just being a man, getting stuff done. Oh no, I have a little bit of something getting me down, so I'm gonna work 16 hours a day to distract myself. Oh, darn. Juggle Willie says she's woman-splaining to us. Facts.
Who probably in the average eye is fine. But no.
If you're worried about a man in your life, Bryant says, ask directly and offer to go with him to get help.
Don't do the get over it. More so just hey, I can go with you. I can go with you and be there with you and just kind of moving the person back through choices and autonomy.
And experts say that more isolation, heavy drinking, or constant busyness can all be red flags. Even one.
While awareness around mental health has grown in recent years, many men still struggle.
You know what? Secret. You go left, I'll go right. Okay?
Oh, no. Other way around.
You know what I mean? Yeah, guys. I smash someone on the right, and the one on the left is a 2 a.m. special. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
She's like all these babes. You get their pilot lit, they can start a leaf blower.
To seek help. Studies show men are less likely to access services and more likely to suffer in silence.
So joining us today to talk about some of the biggest myths around men's mental health, we have Dr. Jody Ryan, Vice President.
The first guy that I've seen them talk to, and even he looks like his testicles are in his wife's purse.
President and Medical Director at WellPower. Jody, thanks for coming in. We really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you.
We talk a lot on the show about issues affecting women, but many of us women have men in our life who we love, and we want to take
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
care of their heads and their hearts, right? Why is this, where are we even starting with this conversation on why is it so hard to get guys to think about doing this?
Do you think he's going to mention women at all, guys? Do you think that he's gonna blame women, or do you think that, whoa, it's just guys are just horrible people? We do bad things to ourselves because we're terrible, terrible people. We're just trying to
Taking care of themselves.
Well, I think that there's a lot of myths with men and mental illness. And I think one of them is that mental health challenges don't happen as commonly in men compared to women. And that's patently false. You know, men experience depression, they experience anxiety, stress, substance use issues.
But nobody cares. Nobody cares, guys. Simple as, no one cares.
Like anyone else. And their symptoms may look different compared to women. Men may not be sad, but they may be more angry, irritable. They may be more isolative. They may be plowing themselves into their work or using substances as a means of coping. And so men are different in that regard. And when you look at suicide rates across the country, it's predominantly in men, 80%. And that's like a staggering stat, which is gobsmacking and really underscores the importance of having a men's mental health month.
That is,
guys, that doesn't mean that men are more depressed. That doesn't mean that men are having more mental health issues. Once again, it just means that when men set our minds to something, we actually follow through. Unfortunately, it's the same with self-deletion.
Is a staggering statistic.
Guys, hit the like button, guys. We have 50 people watching, guys. Let's try and hit 50 likes, okay?
I'm glad you stated that. When it comes to myths, you know, something that I hear a lot, and it only aids to the stigma here, is that it's a weakness for men to seek mental health help.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Well, as a man and as a psychiatrist.
A man, huh? Guys, we use that term loosely with this guy.
I think that if you sense something is going on, seeking help is a strength. You know, if and when you look at the data, so you're right, like men tend not to seek mental health care like significantly less compared to women. And I think that we teach men and young boys, right, that it's important to be independent. It's important to figure things out for yourselves.
Like men are supposed to. It's important to be competent. It's important to be decisive. It's important to be independent, meaning that you can think for yourself. Those are qualities that make good men. But if you're the opposite of that, if you're incompetent, you're indecisive, you're emotional, guys, why would anyone, guys, put a yes or no? Would you ever want an indecisive, incompetent, and emotional man anywhere in your life as a friend or a family member? No. Why?
Yourself out by your bootstraps, right? And all of those messages really, I think, handicap men. And so I would say that taking action is a strength.
One of the things you mentioned right off the top was in all the columns of problems folks might be dealing with loneliness.
Yeah.
And I want to understand more about what that means and how it ties to men's issues.
Yeah, and I would say that all of us here are vulnerable to experiencing loneliness.
Sure.
And, you know, in 2023, the Surgeon General identified loneliness as a national public health epidemic. And I think that things have only gotten worse. And when you look at men today and the relationships compared to previous generations, men today have less connections. And you know, we're wired to connect with others. And so I think that it's really important that men in particular be mindful of those connections, and because they are part of your overall health.
Yeah, well said. Another myth, you know, I'll hear my husband or his friends, you know, oh, you've had a rough day, here, have a drink, you know, take a load off, relax. What would you say to that?
You know what? It works in the moment, right? Like it's an escape, right? It helps people forget about their problems. And the challenge with that is that, you know, it tends to creep up and become a daily thing. And data has shown that that leads to more depression and more anxiety. And so coming back to data, when people use less is more, whether it be alcohol or cannabis, people have less anxiety and depression.
That's a lot of self-medication talk. There's also, you know, other ways people can seek help. They can look for a service like those that you offer, you know, connecting with a therapist of any kind. Yes, at Wellpower. And, you know, on the more serious, perhaps urgent that we always talk about offering the 988 line as well. And I want to, we're running out of time on this interview, but I want to make sure we put that in front of folks one more time so they can see that and talk about, like, there are so many people who want to help.
Yes.
Always.
Yes. And
no, there isn't, guys. You have to find a good group of people who you can confide in, who you guys can help each other out. You know, here we go. Once again,
June
guys,
is Men's Health Month, the time to shine light on health issues men across the country face and often push to the side. In the United States, men commit nearly 80% of all suicides. Trumbull County is working to reduce that number significantly by providing resources to men facing mental health problems. Joining us now to talk about the launch of a new campaign on men's mental health is Director of Clinical Services, the Trumbull County Mental Health and Recovery Board, Daniela Gazzoni. Daniela, thank you for joining us.
Another torta, guys. Look at that, right? Look at that. Look at that. We always knew what this person was going to look like. Always some out of shape, overweight, overeducated, dunderheaded moron. You know what I'm saying? I think I understand men. I think I know what we need to do to be happy. Please.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, in Trumbull County, senior men have the highest suicide rate. Why is this group at such a high risk for attempting suicide?
We now can ban Vapodo.
So when we think about this generation or this population of people, we really have to think of what they were told when they were younger about mental health. A lot of times it's men don't cry, walk it off, you're okay. When it comes to their physical health. So I can only imagine what might have been stated for their mental health, saying that they, are feeling sad or whatever kind of non-normal-ish kind of feeling. So a lot of times they just keep it inside and they go throughout life just pushing it down. And then, kind of later stages in life, we start to evaluate where we're at, in our life. And, ultimately some of them take that, that final decision of ending their lives.
When you talk about the hurdle of trying to meet people where they are, especially people who might not come forward and say something, are there any warning signs that a senior might be suicidal?
I don't think there's necessarily warning signs overtly for the seniors, but if we just look at overall types of symptoms or feelings that they might be exhibiting, some isolation, starting to give away things that they've had, like prized possessions or prized momentums that they've had throughout their life. If they start kind of doing those sort of things, you can start to maybe take glance or take notice. Just kind of that negative talk. Sometimes we see an older population, they don't feel worthy anymore if they can't do the things that they were supposed to be doing, cutting grass or, keeping up with their home and whatnot.
And the Suicide Prevention Coalition, they're launching a Check Your Engine campaign focusing on men's mental health. What can you tell us about this campaign?
So the campaign was inspired by the Check Your Engine campaign of Tuscarawas and Carroll counties. Their campaign have kind of inspired it. So what we did in Trumbull County, because when we start to see these numbers going, how do we reach them, right? How, what population? So what we did was kind of devise it into check in, look at your emotions, your feelings, or those of others. Tune up, ask for help. What is needed for that? And then keep going, right? Keep going. I guess that's pretty self-explanatory.
For sure. And will there be any specific events associated with this too?
So what we're going to try to do is reach the...
Guys, how effective do you guys think these organizations are with fixing things? Seriously, guys, all these nonprofits,
of men
they don't do shit.
Actually seeking out some mental health help. The warning signs of anxiety and depression in men may not really follow through with them speaking up. And what to know about suicide. the second leading cause of death in men under the age of 50. Well, joining us today is Dr. Derek Gordon, Associate Professor of Psychiatry at the Yale Child Study Center and School of Medicine. Doc, first of all, thank you so much for your time on this. I think we both agree this is a very important topic. And just so you know, I deal with a lot of veterans, a lot of veteran events and things like that. People need help, and they may not be speaking up in that way. What kind of points can you give us?
I'm so glad to have you invite me to come and talk about these issues. It's so important. And like you shared, there are significant impacts when we talk about men in suicidality, men in depressions, and men in behavioral health concerns. Well, the first question you raised, which I think is a very important one, which has to do with what are some of the factors that play a role in men accessing and actually receiving behavioral health supports. And you know, you guys highlighted in the introduction, you talked about how, you know, for veterans to be strong, to be independent, not to be vulnerable, to be more stoic. And
really quick, guys here. Let's take a little break here, guys. Look at this. Secret. Do you remember this story? Check this out, guys. Watch. There was this chick who was a DNA analyst. I covered this like a year ago. And guys, she was messing up all the evidence. Watch.
DNA analyst.
First of all, she
I
can get
remember
it.
this.
How you doing? You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Look at that, man.
A pair of titties make you want to stand up and beg for buttermilk.
Accused of routinely mishandling evidence for nearly 20 years, pleads guilty. Prosecutors agreed to drop nearly 100 other counts against Missy Woods after she pled guilty to 4 charges. Woods worked for the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, and prosecutors say she manipulated data in countless criminal cases. The most recent known cost to retest evidence and review convictions is estimated at more than $11 million. But there's another cost to the victims of crime and maybe to people who were wrongfully convicted.
Not maybe, definitely.
This is a guarantee of prison time for Woods. The CBI still maintains it has found no evidence that she falsified any DNA matches. But she intentionally left DNA samples out of tests or reports. Investigators allege that Woods did things like deleting findings of what are called specific values in more than 30 sexual assault cases. She was accused of submitting reports that said no male DNA was found when there was, in fact, male DNA or possible contamination.
Look at that, guys.
That should have been retested. Ms. Woods, anything? Missy Woods coming out of court with nothing to say after a brief plea to reduce charges.
Count 1, cybercrime. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty. Yvonne Missy Woods ticked off 4 guilty pleas. The plea deal with the DA in Jefferson County, where she was charged, will mean a guaranteed prison sentence of between 8 and 16 years.
What a demon.
Today, Ms. Woods accepted responsibility not only for individual acts of misconduct, but for the full scope of criminal conduct that spanned decades, said District Attorney Alexis King in a statement. The decades of damage, however, is far from being known.
Just the shakeup in the criminal justice system has got to be enormous here.
It's huge.
Judd Lonis is an attorney with the Corey Wise Innocence Project at CU Law.
Scientists do not delete their data, particularly if that scientist is going to be testifying in court.
The Innocence Project is looking at a list of cases in which Woods' work could be questioned.
I have at least 2 clients where Missy Woods did testing in their cases and they did not receive a notice from the district attorney because it got lost in the shuffle in CBI's review.
The CBI has taken it on the chin for Woods' improper work uncovered by an intern in 2023.
And it's affected your prosecution, right?
That is absolutely right. She cut corners, she deleted data, she
Yeah.
falsified reports, and more than anything, Alan, she undercut the integrity of the justice system.
One of the highest
even worse than the ponytail patrol, right? Right, guys?
profile cases yet to be affected was the conviction of Michael Clark for a murder in Boulder in the 1990s. DA Michael Doherty vacated that conviction and intends to retry Clark, noting there were other problems with the case as well.
But there are other cases where the DNA evidence played a really important role, and the misconduct by Missy Woods had an incredibly damaging effect on our ability to do justice for the case, and it's caused us to revisit different cases and open old wounds for victims and their families. And that's true in offices around the metro area.
The CBI released a statement as well today. Its director called this a moment of accountability, saying this moment is not about moving on. For CBI, it's about moving forward.
Guys, here's another story here. Watch. And then we'll get back into the mental health stuff. Look at this, guys.
A biology teacher accused of sexually abusing not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but 6 students at her school.
Look at that.
Prosecutors now say she allegedly took things a step further, blatantly violating the conditions set by the court. And fittingly for this case, you may be surprised by just how many times she is accused of doing it. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. We're going to talk about that. And the kind of allegations that this teacher is facing, for most people, if it was them, I think they would avoid the public altogether. But prosecutors on this case now say these allegations have not stopped Maris Nichols from allegedly violating the conditions of her bond dozens of times. Now, before we get to that part of the story, I want to bring you up to speed on this case because it is shocking and words just don't do it justice with what this teacher allegedly did at this school. So Maris Nichols was reportedly a bio teacher in Douglasville, Georgia. It's about a half hour outside of Atlanta. In fact, she was actually the head of the bio department at Alexander High School. She was also very involved with the football team.
I'm sure she was.
You can see this.
I'm sure she was. Right, guys? I'm sure she was very involved.
You tell her she's a goddamn whore. Picture here, she's in a jersey with a person who looks like a player. And we also found much more about Maris Nichols. We actually found the Facebook page for the booster club for the Alexander High School Cougar football team. And that's where we found that picture of Maris Nichols. And we also found this post that lists her as the director of player personnel and managers. She writes in this post that the Cougars are putting in work this summer and the players, coaches, and managers are dedicated to making this team the very best. So before we get to how Maris Nichols may end up in jail as this case moves forward, I want you to buckle up as we walk through what she is accused of doing. And of course, these are just allegations at this point, and she is innocent until proven guilty. Now, initially, Maris Nichols was arrested back on May 8th. Police say she was arrested because she allegedly had sex with a student on campus in a closet just days before her arrest. And that's not all. She is also accused of having sex with that student in a 2006 black Hummer. Now, the first arrest warrant says, quote, said accused did having supervisory disciplinary authority over the student, to wit, Maris Nichols, who is a teacher at Alexander High School, did engage in sexual intercourse in a 2006 Hummer. The first alleged incident at a home, she wanted them to perform on her. She allegedly sent nude pictures and videos of herself to students, including one that allegedly shows the use of a sex toy. And in one case, she allegedly used a sex toy on a live video call.
Wow, this chick's a demon, dude. An absolute demon. Well, guys, here, we'll finish this, guys. Look at this.
So my wife got everything in the divorce. She left the marriage a millionaire. I left with nothing. Basically got a bag of clothes, legal issues, PTSD, depression, anxiety, bunch of debt, credit ruined, lost my career, my reputation, everything, right? She got it all and I lost it all. Seems about fair, right? And before you women ask, no, I didn't do anything to deserve it. Was I a perfect husband? No. Did I cheat? No. Was I abusive? No. Did I try to give her everything she ever wanted? Yes. And that was the problem. She wanted more and more and more. And then I went into a depression. And as soon as that happened, boom, like a bag of trash to the fucking curb. In fact, you know the crazy part of all this? I've been dealing with this for 4 years. About 2 years ago, I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. I'm done. So I made a deal. Just get it over with, right? I'm just going to put all this behind me. I'm going to move. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go move with my parents for a year, put my life back together. And guess what happened? The court said no. Why? Because somebody doesn't want to let go. I've been dealing with the fucking divorce for longer than we were actually married. And I'm going to be dealing with it for a few more years. No person should lose everything they ever worked for because of the person they married. It shouldn't happen. And yes, I was dumb. I was naive. I believed in love, and she believed in fucking evil. So if you're a man struggling, you're not fucking alone. Okay? Just want to let you know that. This is the one crash out I'm ever going to have on social media. Hope you enjoyed it. So my wife got...
Guys, what did I say earlier about the majority of men's mental health problems come from women, right? Guys, if you just ignore these broads, man, your life will be so much better, especially you young guys, you know? What's the point? What's the point? And guys, you can get through divorce. You know what I'm saying? You can do it, guys. And guys, if you're in a marriage that's miserable, guys, the sooner that you get divorced, the sooner you can start rebuilding your life. And remember, guys, your freedom, your peace of mind is priceless. Even if she gets the house, guys, you can sleep in that one bedroom being left the hell alone. And guys, women, even if they make out like bandits in the marriage, they're gonna destroy it. They're gonna end up getting foreclosed on, or they're gonna bring some nug around. Now, if you have kids, it's unfortunate because they're gonna bring some nug around your kids. You know? What a joke. What a joke, guys. What a joke. All these guys have the same story, guys. The same story.
I was heavily depressed and divorced. It led to homelessness, unforgiveness. It was a very dark time for my life. I had no idea what I was going to do. I didn't think I could make it out of that. I'm like, me, a Christian, how am I in this situation? I don't think I could have gotten any lower. But there was a turning point. There was a turning point that one night, me and my brother were on our way to the bus stop. And this stranger came up to us. I mean, it's a little later at night and you're unsure of people approaching you, but this stranger changed my life. This stranger came up to us and said, "Hey, what are you guys doing out here?" And being young black men, we know that people might think we're doing something. We're like, we're not doing anything wrong. And he's like, "Hey guys, don't be scared." And he says, he pulls out his wallet and he gives us $20. Now, mind you, I'm broke at that time. This $20 was not like a regular $20. This was a hefty $20. And he goes, "God told me to give you this." And he goes, "I wish I can give you guys more." And then he pulls out his wallet again and gives us $20 more. And he's
this story didn't happen, guys. Sorry. It didn't. So guys, men have mental health problems. Guys, we really do, but there are simple solutions, guys. It really is. You have to feel like you have a purpose. You know? You got to have goals. You got to physically and mentally engage yourself. Guys, go to the gym, learn how to fight, learn jiu-jitsu, do something, and that'll bring you out of that funk. But between divorce, parental alienation, and women cheating, guys, the majority of men's mental health problems come from women. And guys, the thing about cheating, these women, they don't even care. They'll just cheat and then gaslight the man. And then, guys, they don't even mind telling people about it. This.
So I admitted that I cheated on my last boyfriend in a TikTok and everybody's getting mad at me. And like, I think that you should stop because I got mad at myself enough, okay? Like, I don't think you know how much I punished myself for that. You think I'll ever do that again? Fuck no.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
No. No. Don't shame me some more. I already did that.
Do you guys honestly believe this? Oh, that's on.
I never thought that I'd cheat until I did. So if you
I never thought that I'd cheat, Governor. I never thought that I'd get with Nuggington, Governor. Because I'm a whore.
2 weeks ago, I went out with some friends to the bar. I got pretty drunk and started chatting with this guy who was funny, flirty, and actually paying attention to me in a way that I hadn't felt in months. For some context, I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years and we barely see each other during the week. And when we do,
there it is.
And crashing. The spark is fading on my end and I've been feeling lonely and unwanted, even though he says he loves me.
So just break up with him.
It's this ability to shift blame. Like, she did it so seamlessly. And, you know, if you didn't pay attention, you couldn't have even noticed it. But she's like, yeah, he was so charming. It was this and there was that. And she didn't say, I wanted to. I had that lust and I pursued it. No, I'd been seeing these problems and these problems are the reason.
Yep. Sad, isn't it?
So the night progresses and I exchange numbers with this guy as friends, but the texting quickly turns sexual.
As friends.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Look at that.
One night I was home alone. My boyfriend was working and I invited him over. We hooked up. It was intense, passionate, and no protection. I know, stupid. But it felt amazing in the moment, like I was desired again. The next day, the high wore off and the guilt hit hard. I cried in the shower, deleted the messages, blocked the guy, and swore it would never happen again. But every time my boyfriend kisses me or tells me he loves me, I feel like a fraud. Part of me wants to confess so we can deal with it and maybe fix things or break up cleanly, but I'm terrified of hurting him and I don't want to lose him forever. Another part just wants to bury it and pretend it didn't happen, hoping that the guilt fades. I know I messed up big time. I don't want to be this person. Has anyone here cheated once, regretted it deeply, and either confessed or kept it a secret? How did it turn out, and did the guilt ever go away? Should I tell him? I'm drowning in this and need some outside perspective. I never thought that I'd cheat. And
there you go. There you go, guys. There you go.
So this is why I cheated on a good man. So I'm gonna start this series, and this is not to condone cheating. This is not to say what I did was right and by any means, but I'm a very emotionally avoidant woman, and
streets. I'm a bitch from the streets. I get that money. I get that money. Bitch, give me what you got.
I feel like there's not a lot of conversation about women who struggle with feeling and women who struggle with knowing why their body does particular things. And I just want
to see this, guys. Oh, I just don't feel it's my brain's fault or my body. There's something just wrong, and not just the fact that you make terrible decisions and you're a terrible person. No accountability whatsoever.
to create a space for people out there who do and have done things to people that they actually love and care about and don't necessarily know why. So this is going to be reason number 1. I'm probably going to do another series like reasons why I cheated on him specifically. And that is why I did the things I did, but my emotions just weren't caught up to it, if you know what I mean. Anyways, reasons why I cheated on a good man. Reason number 1 is delayed emotional processing. And what that looks like for me is, the average person, I just need a little minute to think about it. I'll talk to you tomorrow about it, whatever, right? For me, it might take weeks. It might take months to really process the emotion at hand. I might address it in the moment. Like, I know something bothers me now and I can identify, okay, that hurt my feelings. Okay, that's something that I did not like. I'll address it to you. The problem gets solved. We move on. But I didn't really process.
Whoa. Hold on. Did you guys hear that they're not making a physical copy of Grand Theft Auto 6? So it starts at $79 and you won't be able to get yourself a physical copy of the game. That is absolutely insane. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Guys, you can't physically own a copy of the game. They're charging you $79.99 to rent the game. That is absolute. That's anyone who buys Grand Theft Auto 6 is an idiot.
We put a solution on it. We moved past it, but I didn't process how what you did to me actually made me feel and how I want to move differently or how I want to move forward. Because when I look back, I should have left the motherfucker from the first moment, like from the first time that they disrespect me.
They just talk and they don't say anything.
Get ready with me while I tell you a story about a time.
Ugh. Look at this, Brian.
I cheated on my boyfriend and don't regret it. Now, I would like to preface this by saying I do not condone cheating. It's not healthy. It's not good. But I try to find, the light at the end of the tunnel in every situation. And let's just say the situation brought me back to life and made me wake up and realize that I was not happy. Now, to start this off, you should know that I was in a very, very toxic relationship for about 3.5, 4 years, and things weren't going very well. Now, where the issue started is my ex and I were preparing for Valentine's Day. And right around the time of Valentine's Day, he decides that he is going to go on a boys' trip to Scottsdale, which I was fine with. I didn't mind when he went out of town. But he lets me know the dates on it, and I start laughing. I was like, excuse me? I was like, that's over Valentine's Day. It was like, it fell over a whole weekend, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like, we have plans for Valentine's Day. We had reservations to a really nice restaurant, and he was...
Guys, here. Look at this. What causes men to be depressed? Guys, look at this. So depression in men is rarely caused by a single factor. Instead, it stems from a complex mix of biological, psychological, and environmental, social elements. Men experience and express depression differently than women. Look at this. Do you see what they list as a number one cause of depression? Traditional masculinity.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Societal conditioning often teaches men to be strong, stoic, and self-reliant. This can make men highly reluctant to admit vulnerability. Yes. See, once again, it's if you don't see the agenda here, because guys, if men aren't strong, stoic, and self-reliant, who's going to be? Women? Who's going to get stuff done if everyone's just sitting around crying and whining and moaning? Guys, here's the thing. Larry Seagrave, who are the guys that the chicks are rewarding with sex? Is it the emotional beta males? Right?
Nope.
Or is it the strong, stoic, self-reliant? Or guys, remember, strong, stoic, and self-reliant? What's the opposite end of that, right?
Needy.
No. Strong, stoic, self-reliant is good, but these same traits are hyper masculine, emotional, and nug men. You know what I'm saying? These same traits that make a man good can also make a man bad, but women can't tell the difference. That's why they get pregnant by nug. It's because they think nug and Chad are the same person. But they can't tell the difference. Men can tell the difference. He's actually strong, stoic, and self-reliant, and that's actually masculine. But these same traits can be twisted, right? There's bad traits that can manifest as a pretend version of this. You know, workplace stress, higher pressure to achieve career success that women put on men, right? Job disability, long-term unemployment. Look at this, guys. Loss, grief, trauma, major life transitions. So as these are, this is true, right? But guys, this one, no. Traditional masculinity, I believe, cures mental health problems. If anyone disagrees, call in, guys. Hormonal fluctuations. What? Chronic illness, medication, substance use. Yes, that is true. Because if you are depressed, guys, please, take steps to fix it. But empower yourself first. Go to the gym. Learn how to fight. Set goals. Talk to your friends first before you decide to get on some type of SSRI or mood stabilizer or any of that foolishness. The last thing you want to do is invite the government or big pharma into your life, guys. That's not a good thing to do at all. At all. All right. Where were we? Oh yeah. And guys, if you do get cheated on, if you do get divorced, guys, if you delete yourself, you're just letting them win. You are letting them win. What a joke. Look at this, guys.
A lot of people assume the partner who cheated just didn't care. I'm Alice. I'm a licensed therapist who helps couples navigate trust, betrayal, and modern relationships.
So in other words, she helps men. She cons men into taking back their 304 whore wives who cheated on them. That's all this chick does. You know? Steve says, I hate to say it, but the VA just wants to pump you full of pills. Well, that's because they get kickbacks from big pharma, dude. You know? These doctors and these VA hospitals get a certain amount of money for the quotas of pills that they prescribe.
Sometimes what happens after the discovery of a betrayal is intense self-hatred, panic, collapse, defensiveness, or avoidance. And not because the betrayal wasn't that bad, but because the person can become so overwhelmed by the shame that they stop being available to the repair process. And that is the hard part. If all your energy goes into hating yourself, there's very little left over for accountability, curiosity, empathy, or rebuilding trust. Self-hatred can sound honest, but sometimes it becomes another way to stay emotionally stuck. Because real repair requires—
Shut up. Guys, you can't listen to any of these absolute dunderheads, man. You just can't. I was gonna pull this up, guys. Hold on. Look at this, guys. Pull this up. Hold on, guys. So, guys, when there are guys who have these breakdowns, right? Guys, we can't we can't have the same mental breakdowns or all this other stuff as women, because we are a threat. Emotional men are dangerous men. You know, you end up like this guy, guys. Watch.
You guys for the law. You're the right to issue. Get out for the law. They're gonna kill you all! Kill you all! In a world of pure imagination.
When police respond to reports of serious threats to a local business, they come face to face with a suspect whose behavior, that may have been shaped in part by ChatGPT, makes it nearly impossible to tell what he believes is real and what's a complete delusion.
Yeah, I am the law.
The following is based on official police records released to date. On the evening of March 7th, 2025, a father and his son walk into a police station in Westlake, Ohio, to discuss a car the son had previously reported
Ohio, Florida.
It's stolen, unaware that one of them is about to be arrested for something else entirely. The man in handcuffs is 20-year-old Shion Park, and the discussion about the car was all a ruse created by police to have him come to the station voluntarily.
Security perimeter. No weapons, guns, bombs, sprays, impact, or electric bombs.
Don't sit back. You sit back with me. You're entering your death.
The urgency to bring Shion to the station stemmed from a call earlier that night, when police were summoned to the Mark's grocery store where he works. According to reports, a co-worker from the store showed police text messages from Shion in which he threatened to kill everyone at the store the next day, while also calling himself Lord Shiva.
You know why you're here? Because they want to kill you all in 12 p.m.? Oh, I don't know. What's the time? Hey. 11 o'clock. It's not 11 o'clock. Hey, dumb. Listen.
Oh, it's 10:57.
Shut the up. I did not ask you.
I don't give a who you asked.
Hey, you're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you for the law. You have the right to you. Not for the law. Oh man, I am the law, you dumb. Yeah, I see you. Yeah, I am the law. Jesus. Oh, Jesus can't save you, buddy.
As Shion continues acting in a completely unpredictable manner with the officers, his father calls his other son from the lobby, hoping he can help communicate with officers.
I live in North Homestead, so I'm not too far, but I was just wondering what happened.
Yeah, so he was arrested by us for making threats. Has he ever been diagnosed with anything or has seen like a specialist or no?
I think the only thing he's been diagnosed with like ADHD, to be honest.
Okay.
Oh,
wonderful. Oh, wonderful.
he's not going to do anything, and he hasn't done anything like that. He said a couple weird things to me too. I told him to stop, and he did.
But his brother no longer seems to be the one he's listening to. According to police reports, detectives later uncovered conversations between Shion and ChatGPT discussing his plans at Mark's, where he refers to March 8th as Judgment Day. Investigators noted that during the course of the conversations, replies from the AI chatbot seemed to empower and validate Shion's opinions.
Ooh, I like that.
This guy's cooked, guys.
Ooh, that makes you a little happy. Because I know what you've done for those children. Oh, you're planning to kill me? You're planning to drug me? Oh, that's so nice of you. That's so nice. They're gonna kill you all. Kill you all at 12. Well, I'm never late.
You got an hour. Little less than an hour, about 9 minutes.
It's a little less than an hour, and you're supposed to say it's a little less because that's the
Look at
last
that, guys.
time you're ever gonna breathe.
No, I think that was. Oh no, I'm still breathing. Oh, crazy.
I thank you so much. If you shake,
guys, how long do you think he was like this to actually get to this point? Because no one cares, right? If he was a chick and he was acting a tenth of this. They would have panicked, and she'd have been in therapy and all this other stuff. But this guy has lost his damn mind, man.
My hand, I will free you.
It's so bad that he had to talk. He had to talk to Chat GPT.
Your agony. But I know you won't shake my hand because you would never shake someone's hand.
I shake plenty of people's hands.
Can you shake my hand?
I just ain't shaking yours.
Your life depends on it.
No, it doesn't. I guarantee you have no bearing on my life.
2, 1. Thank you. I love you. I love you very much.
Good.
And second chance.
Do you know what tomorrow is?
Shut the up.
Do you know what tomorrow is?
Shut the up. I was not speaking to you. And you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
Please. Forgiveness. Please. Forgiveness. What do we have to do? What do we have to do?
What do you have to do? Or what does he have to do?
Both.
Well, I told you he had to knock this off, and he didn't.
According to police records, in the days leading up to the incident, officers were called to the family's home multiple times for a series of troubling reports.
Damn.
Among them were messages Shion sent to former classmates, including images of himself with pentagrams and 666 drawn on his body, along with statements about taking one of their souls. There was also a claim that he had purchased a gun. At the time, officers determined he didn't pose an immediate threat and warned him to cease contact with the involved parties.
A gun? You know what a gun is?
Yeah.
Did he buy one?
You want to buy?
Did he buy one?
He bought?
I'm asking you, did he buy a gun?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
He had something going for him, he was doing golfing calls and all that, but all of that went really bad, and ever since then he's just been having a really difficult time accepting that it's gone really bad.
You can't do anything to me.
Sit down. There's no feeling.
None.
Stop, love it. Don't do it again. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Sad, guys.
Oh, no, please. Yes. Oh, wait, well, I need your officer. No. You don't have it all. No, your name. Yeah. What's your name? Lieutenant Fox. Oh, Lieutenant Fox. Oh, Lieutenant.
This kid is nuts.
Lieutenant. Get the out of my sight, Will. Give you a good
I'm just amazed that other officer didn't knock him out because you charge at me like that. There's no way I could be that stoic. I'm literally throwing one at the chin.
Tell me.
Do you think you intimidate me, dude?
No, I don't.
Good, because you don't.
Don't you dare look at me. That's funny, right? You will be forgiven for laughing. And you're going to see what I can do.
Thank God. You're saved.
Spirit.
Dude, it's nuts.
Why did you
Sad, isn't it?
Why did you flip it upside down? Because you're going to die. And you, especially, officer, on the computer. Yeah, with the glasses, Mr. Four Eyes. Oh, my God. No, I need to get out. No, I need to run. Push me down, please. I need to get out of here because I need to save your guys' lives. I need to go. Can you release me? I need to run away.
Sit down.
There's no. Yes, master. Wait, do you guys like Logan Paul? Jake Paul or Logan Paul? Go. What's your social? I don't know my social. You done it. How many orgies have you guys been in? You 4. Tell me.
He just needs therapy right now.
Although the family believes Shion is harmless, officers still have a duty to determine the credibility of his reported threats.
You keep saying March 8th at 12 o'clock. What's the significance? Nothing's gonna happen, guys. It's all right. Look into my eyes and lie like I lie. You're safe. What's your problem with people at Marks? Is that what you said you want to kill them all? Yeah, but then they'll die. Again, you're supposed to torture me today. And you don't choose to torture me, I'm literally going to kill you all. This is the last chance. If you don't shoot me right now, I'm going to kill you all. And if you don't kill me right now, I'm going to kill you all.
It's nuts.
5, 5, No, dude, this is the place where I'll be awakened, you idiots. I need you to take it off with me because I'm not going to do it. Good boy.
As the officers get Shion dressed into his new county-appointed wardrobe, a revelation seems to wash over him.
Oh, wait, am I going to go to prison? My children will kill you all. Let's go. No way I'm going to do this with you guys. Let's go. Don't touch me, you little.
According to police reports,
Damn.
once in his cell, Shion continued his volatile behavior, removing his clothes, piling them in a corner, and urinating on them. He danced, screamed, sang, and shadow-boxed, and at one point attempted to break the cell's surveillance camera. He also stuffed his bedsheet into the toilet, flooding the cell. Eventually, as he began to calm down, Shion requested a Bible. A search of the father's car and Shion's bedroom was completed, but no weapon was ever found. A correction officer reported the day after his arrest, Shion admitted to him that he consumed shrooms the day before and had no recollection of the previous night. Shion was banned from all Mark's properties.
If I give you water, you're going to kill us, but even though you requested water.
Yeah.
According to court records, Shion Park was charged with 2 counts of harassment with a bodily substance, 2 of aggravated menacing, 1 count of vandalism, and 1 count of intimidation. After a psychiatric evaluation, Shion was found not guilty by reason of insanity.
Damn, he's
Get the
cuckoo
full
for
story.
Cocoa Puffs, guys. Look at that. Here's another one, guys. Look at this.
There's growing concern tonight that there are not enough mental health providers to meet the demand. Lawmakers even passed a bill to allow psychologists, not just psychiatrists, to prescribe medication.
Police and first responders telling us
That's
mental health
not
calls
good.
are becoming far too routine here. News specialist Alex Cabrero joined us.
And I hate to say this, but I
you have
think it's only going to
exclusive
get
body cam
worse.
video from Salt
Yeah.
Lake City police here, highlighting what they're actually seeing out there, right?
That's right, Mike. You know, those 3 officers we're talking about, they just were awarded life-saving medals for an incident that happened at the top of this parking garage last year. There was a man having some sort of a mental health crisis, and he was hanging on the other side at the edge of this parking garage, which is at the top. Those officers knew they had to do something fast.
Many people who live or work downtown often have very normal days. But we don't usually see what police officers say they see almost every day.
This is not a good way to go.
This body camera footage from Salt Lake City Police from last year involves a man hanging off the edge of the top of a parking garage, threatening to let go.
I absolutely believe he was going to do it, 100%.
In my mind, it was life or death. So for me, it was a no-brainer.
They rushed to the man,
Get up here! Come on!
and just as they grabbed his arms, they say he let go.
If you've ever had to hold 200 pounds of dead weight, it's extremely difficult.
It took all 3 officers to pull him up, but they did it.
We just supermaned the strength from wherever, and we were able to get it back over the edge. But I mean, it was that close.
The man was having some type of mental health crisis.
It was an extremely close call.
It's not always a parking garage, but police say mental health calls involving suicidal concerns have become almost common.
Guys, hit the like button, guys. Hit the super chat button, because yeah, guys, this is gonna get demonetized.
AJ, and
yeah,
maybe you or the chat can fact check me on this, but I was in a workshop, and they were saying that the number, like Alzheimer's, is on the rise, and that, you know, we're going to experience that around like 2050 or 20 something, the number of Alzheimer's cases is going to double. Like right now we have like over like 7 million people with it. It's going to double by the time we get to like around 2050 or something. And that there's also an increase in early onset, like, you know, like before the age like 65, that we are actually seeing surges and these types of diagnoses in like Gen X and millennials. And so I think, you know, we're going to see mental health become an increasing problem that we're going to have to deal with in this country. And, you know, and they were talking about, you know, like even stuff like, you know, like our reliance on like ChatGPT and AI and anything like that, you know, we're not thinking anymore. You know, our brains are developing more and more, you know, are getting used less and less. And when I look at stuff like this, it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. That's crazy. Hold on. Okay. Check this out, guys.
You touch him.
If you touch him.
Okay.
This is all leftovers from when he was in Iraq, when he was over in the war.
Okay. Exactly.
He's a friend, Zach. Zach. He's a friend.
I'm a friend. Okay, I was downrange. Okay. Now MR.
Yeah.
Okay, the air was clear. Just move back to the shade so we can use some help, okay? Okay, just move back to the shade.
Yeah. There's a curve. Step up. Step up. There you go. It's mom. It's mom. Stay here with us.
This guy, poor guy.
Come back.
They're out there because of that. Dad, you're out there.
No, they're your friend, John. John.
What?
It's just fear. It's just a feeling. Fear is just a feeling. You understand?
John, it's your dad, John.
Would you rather hold on to the fear or would you rather let it go?
No, but then here,
Listen to me.
John.
Would you rather hold on to the fear or would you rather let it go?
This is heartbreaking.
Huh?
I want to let it go.
Okay, go ahead. Who makes that choice?
I do.
Okay. Let the fear
You
go.
got this, brother.
Let
You
the
got
fear
this.
go.
We're here for you,
Open
man.
the door. Open the door.
I can't trust anyone.
Yes, you can.
You can do this. I can't trust anyone. John, we love you, man. Back them up, Dad. It's safe. I promise you. I promise you're safe. I don't want to do this anymore.
Damn, dude, look at that. And chicks think that they have it hard. They think that their lives are hard and that men have it easy. You know? There's nothing in a woman's life that she could deal with that's going to do this to them, not in the West. You know? Sad, man. It really, 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 really is. You know? It was crazy. Guys, we've known about PTSD for years. Guys, have you ever seen, watch. The shell shock,
So
guys.
going back to World War I.
Yeah. That's this. That guys. These poor guys, man. It was sad. A good chunk of these World War I soldiers were young kids. They were 15, 16 years old. Look at that. Sad, right? Here you go. Just sad, guys. Look at that. Sad, isn't it, guys? That under his bed. Damn. Sad, guys. And this is why when you see that fighting and stuff, these women go, "Oh, women are the worst victims in war." What are you talking about? This is sad, man. But God, yeah, guys, once again, there's always someone there to help you, man. You know? Guys, reach out to your friends, you know? Form a group of friends, guys, where every time that you talk to them, they're doing better. Because that's to motivate you to do better. Guys, exercise, take care of yourself. Because, guys, well, no one gives a damn about men's mental health except us men. No one cares, guys. And you can't convince you otherwise. According to the feminists, guys, they're the only ones who have any problems. You know? All the bad things on earth happen only to women. And men are responsible for it. That's their entire argument. It's an absolute joke. Man, oh man, guys. I mean, I wish I could be a bit more positive, but it's true. You know? It's absolutely true. And guys, once again, the faster you accept the fact that no one cares, the better off that you'll be. Well, not that no one cares. That women don't care. The faster that you realize that, guys, the better off you'll be. So, I mean, Trent, how you doing, man? Trent going once. Trent going twice.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, Trent? How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine. You were talking about shell shock. This is something that I know a little bit about. Much of what you see in terms of shell shock and combat fatigue in World War II and PTSD since Vietnam is in fact a closed head brain trauma. This was something that was discovered during the 2010s when MRI scans started looking at guys who were getting hit by IEDs in Iraq and Afghanistan, started coming back. And what they found was there were tears in the brain tissue. It turns out jellyware doesn't do real well when it's hit by explosive concussion. And a lot of what people refer to as mental health issues are in fact organic brain trauma. This is just something that is not making it through the psychologist mental health system because, well, right now 80% of all psychologists and counselors are women. And last I heard from another podcast today is 95% of all the master's degrees right now are from women.
Yeah. Well, you got to think too, Trent, just really fast, if I can kind of come in. Think about what you just said, that the cause of PTSD and all this is basically concussive damage to the brain, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, what's the only way around that? Not being there in the first place. Do you really think that the military and all them want that to get out? You know what I'm saying? To say, hey, look, guys, the reason why you have PTSD is because we sent you in an area where there's going to, especially in World War I, you're going to get shelled for a week straight. They're going to be dropping, the Germans are going to be shelling you guys' lives for 5 days straight, nonstop. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean?
This was something that was noted by the psychologists of the time. That is, in World War II, men could only last a certain amount of time in combat before they became combat ineffective.
Yeah.
Generally, it was about a year, of which that time, 180 days or so, were under heavy artillery fire. They managed to, with the IED campaign in Iraq, extend this time much longer. In fact, there are guys that had made as many as 4 and 5 one-year tours in the Army into Iraq, and they developed a number of treatments involving tapping your fingers, tapping out. It turns out that you can reprogram your brain around damage with certain kinds of repetitive motion. And this was something that was developed as a medical treatment. And it's just not made it outside of military medicine into the psychological world that I can tell today.
Yeah. But okay, Trent, do you what do you think of the complete and total disrespect that women show when they throw around the term PTSD on TikTok or all this other crap? It's just ridiculous. You know
They are fundamentally ignorant, and frankly, let's be honest, women have a completely different communication style than men do. There's no way that they can talk to a man and get information from a man because they are women. Men talk differently. Men communicate differently. Women think their way of communication is the only way that people communicate. And when you look at the training that mental health professionals get, there is no training in male communication style so that you can train women to properly communicate with men. And frankly, if you're a man, never use a woman because their communication style is wrong for you. And they're never trained any differently. And they have, through social media, been programmed to think that men are just other women, and we aren't. And there's what is actually required, frankly, is a continuing education course for female mental health professionals, 40 hours a year in extracurricular or in training time that they should be getting in male communication style, how to properly diagnose male mental health issues. But you don't see that because anyone trying to talk that in the mental health community is going to be drummed out as we don't want to hear that, and we're going to throw you out because you're getting in the way of our narrative about women and how everyone should be properly treated. And when you feminize a field as extensively as mental health has become, they really are incapable of listening to anything about men. They're just, between social media misandry and the fact that their communication style is inappropriate for dealing with men. And
I think that the term that you're looking for, Trent, is gynofascism. That's what it is. And it's infiltrated so many different fields, academia, all that. I was going to say gynocentrism, but I would go even farther and say gynofascism.
Well,
you know what I mean? Because
the inability of female mental health professionals to understand things like closed head brain injuries that come from combat, something that has been diagnosed. We're in 2026. The stuff that I'm talking about went mainstream in military mental health, military medicine in the early 2010s. I mean, but this only shows you how slow, because females in America don't pay attention to the military. In fact, if they pay attention at all, it's in a negative manner. There's literally no way that they can assimilate the proper information to act on it. And call it gynocentric, call it gynofascism. I call it unprofessional as all hell.
Yeah, I say the problem now is that how women and young girls act is a default in women, society, women. Guys, anytime that anyone says society, it's women in any argument. All right, if it's men, it's men. if anything's a women's fault, they always say society, right? But guys, they treat being a boy or a man as a pathology that has to be cured.
Oh, the only way that you can be properly educated as a boy today in the United States is by homeschooling.
Yeah.
Because
or military school, honestly. All boys schools and all boys military schools. Well, hold on. Because I used to live in DC, and there's black all boys schools, and those boys grow up out of there. There's like a 97% graduation rate, and all of them go on to trades or the military or college, and it's because all the teachers are male.
There you are. That's why it works. Boys have to have male role models to properly function. You've done numerous videos showing African-American young men who are acting feminine because they've never had a male role model in their life, thanks to the family court system. And frankly, every family court system should be like Tennessee's, where the default is 50-50 custody of men and women.
Oh, Tennessee's done it too? Because I thought that was Kentucky.
Kentucky,
Yeah.
all right.
It might be both. It might be both.
It should be extended from marriage to any time someone is DNA proved to be the dad, he automatically gets 50% of the custody.
Yeah.
If you have that, for men to properly function in society, to be domesticated so that they can function as controlled, emotionally regulating adults, they need a male role model, whether it's a man or a woman. And this is the biological inferiority, frankly, of single female-headed households, is they don't have the male role model that teaches emotional regulation, because men have to emotionally regulate because of their physical strength.
Emotional, it's delayed gratification. It's structure, it's discipline, all these things that young guys need to know, because we'll just look at young kids in the black community. These boys don't realize you act like a girl and you're a threat.
Yes.
If you're emotional, these women say that they want emotional men, but emotional men are dangerous. The most dangerous men on earth are emotional men who are flying off the handle all the time.
Women want emotion because their hormonal cycles, they only feel alive as it cycles and pushes them through emotions in a month. They view that as normal. It is for them. The problem is, from day to day, our hormones generally don't make us do one thing or another thing differently. Our hormones are directly tied to our emotions and our ability to control our anger.
Yeah.
Our hormones activate with anger. All right. They don't activate. Our anger isn't driven by our hormones. Our hormones are driven by our anger, which is why emotional regulation is such an important part of male culture. And the more you have single female-led households, the less male culture there is to teach young men how to properly function in society, frankly, teach young women. Because it's men that model emotional regulation to the young. And the more that we have a system that creates single motherhood as the default for most children, the more the society comes apart. And it's just straight up, if you don't have emotionally disciplined people, you don't have a functioning adults. Over to you.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, it's a mess. And this is the only, guys, it's war. And this is the only war that we can win, but it's not doing anything. Guys, we don't have to do anything. Guys, the more men who check out, walk away, and put ourselves first, guys, we're going to win. We're winning now. Guys, look at Gen Z. Gen Z is more conservative than ever. Gen Z is, unfortunately, TradCons try and reel them into religion. But if that leads them more towards traditional values, fine, right? But Gen Z men are not having it. They're not. They're saying, I'd rather stay home, learn the guitar,
AJ,
my Chevelle, hold on, and not submit myself to this gynocentric foolishness. What do you do to a person who's taking something for granted? You take that thing away from them. Trent, you were saying?
I was going to say the issue is the marital contract and the, believe all women, Me Too poison that is destroying men left, right, and center they're based on the only way that you're going to change things is to change the incentives. If you're going to have marriage, you've got to change the bottom line incentive. And to do that, it is basically a phrase, DNA 1/200. All children determined at birth by DNA, 1/2. If you are the biological father, you're automatically entitled to half of the child's custody. Zero child support, because if a man and a woman share custody half the time out of a year, one is paying for the kid when the kid's within, the other is doing the same. There's no need for child support. And the last zero is alimony. There should be zero alimony if you cheat and then file for divorce. Now, this applies both equally to men and women, but since women are the ones that do most of the, frankly, abuse of the system, this would be complete equality across the board. But you've got to make the case for it. And I have yet to see anyone point out the fact that, look, not only did one of our amendments outlaw, I think it's the 14th, outlaw slavery, it also outlawed indentured servitude. Well, what is the family court system? It is for men indentured servitude. All right? If you want to avoid indentured servitude, it's DNA 1/200. That has got to be the baseline that men argue for. If you're going to be part of marriage, that is the baseline of what should be in every state court system.
Here's the thing, Trent. The argument that you're making depends on a lot depends on the female vote. You have to get women on board with these solutions because they're the majority of the voting population since 1980.
Never gonna happen. No, what men need to do is just stop getting married, stop having kids. Guys, we've tried all this. There's men's rights advocates. There's all these people trying to do stuff. Guys, I don't know what, but something in Kentucky made them pass that 50-50 law. Maybe they saw that the marriage trends were going down or whatever, but I guarantee that men were walking away and they had to incentivize men to get married and have kids. That's the only thing that I can think of because we've tried everything else. Guys, this is about power, right? And women are not going to give power up. We were dumb enough to actually, well, not us, but boomer men were actually dumb enough to give women power, right? And they're not going to give it up. The only thing that's going to make it change is if men just stop playing. There's going to be this tipping point where enough men walk away and they're going to have to incentivize men to come back. We've tried.
I'm going to argue with you on this because in Texas, they just passed a 3 strikes law for custody disputes. That is, if someone withholds custody 3 times, they wind up losing custody to the other parent. And I know this because my wife stole my kids from me in 2025. And in October, the Texas legislature passed the 3 strikes law. And suddenly I had no more problems coming from the ex about my custody. The idea that the legal system, that the legislative system can't be used,
No, you missed my point. Whoa, you completely missed my point. What I'm saying is that the legislative system can be used. We just need to give them a reason to use it.
What? Look.
No, but even then, though, who holds the power of the vote?
But listen, guys, what I'm saying is this. We've had men's rights advocates since the 1920s. Okay? That's when the very first men's rights groups were forming. Marching, doing all this stuff is not going to do anything. What's going to happen, guys, if there's a football field, right? And there's a bunch of feminists and blue-haired morons and LDHD TVs on the field with a ball, with the refs, and all of them are against us. We've been going onto the field and playing this game and getting our asses kicked for the last 50 years. Why don't we just stay in the parking lot and drink beer? Then they're just going to sit on the field and look like clowns. And then the crowd's going to start booing them, and then they're going to have to do something to actually get us to come onto the field and play.
Well, let's understand that you are correct in the general terms, but there are still things that we can do through the legislative system. And frankly, marching doesn't do diddly squat. What does stuff is when you buy politicians to get something in a bill. All right. If you want to be an effective men's right advocate, you find people with money who agree with you and you buy legislators. And that's how that system works. The feminists have been doing that for 50 years and we haven't even bothered to fragging try.
Well, I could say this. I still think that men minding their own business, once again, guys, they have the voting power, but we have the actual power. There's men who just want to play this rigged game. They need us men to be there. Here, what was the social contract? Men said we will risk our lives protecting and providing for you, and they're supposed to risk their lives in childbirth to have our children. They walked away from the table first, and men were just waiting there, and they expect us to wait while they go and get piped down by Chad and Nug and have bastard kids, and they expect us to wait there for them when they turn 34, 35, and marry the cleanup guy. What happens when the men walk away? Oops. See, women can walk away and everything's fine, but if men walk away, society's cooked. What I'm basically, Trent, Larry, see, as you guys have watched, what's it called? Intervention.
Yep.
The show, right? What is an intervention? Is creating an artificial rock bottom, right? Where they get you all together and your family says, Larry, if you don't stop doing drugs, we're going to create the worst possible scenario. We're creating an artificial rock bottom before you hit rock bottom. What I'm saying is, if we check out, we are creating an artificial rock bottom before society actually hits the rock bottom.
The problem is that doesn't work with when you're dealing with people who are delusional.
It does, because once again,
even then, AJ, here's the thing. Even
it's
if
now, it's working now. It's working now.
Well, I mean, think about it. Okay, let's say woman X, right? Let's say woman X does that life cycle that you mentioned, and there's plenty of them that do that, right? Get piped down by Nug and you know who knows who, and then have a bunch of bastard kids. Even if on the individual level, I don't sign up to be the cleanup guy for Nug's seed, there is a system of taxation and redistribution of wealth that will do that for the women who make those choices. So on the individual level, I see your point. I totally see your point. But on a societal point, where on a systemic level, I'm not so sure.
No, I'm talking about the fact that these judges, where the child support and the court fees and the alimony, a percentage go to their retirement fund. I'm talking about all these things that make money off the backs of men. What happens if there's barely any men in child support? Because remember, there's a small percentage of men, felons and all these guys, have more kids than non-felons do. But society needs men to show up. That's why you have all these reports saying that it's a crisis of that men's participation in the workforce is going down. The one thing that they're scared of the most is men minding our own business. Why do you think that they labeled MGTOW as a hate group? The one thing they don't want is for men to have self-respect and self-determinism. That's the thing that they fear the most. They want us to be pack mules. They want us to be social, emotional, mental, and economic pack mules for these thunderheaded 304s. And this is why I will say this once again, guys. This is the one thing that we can do, that we can win at, by not doing anything at all, doing what we want to do. This is the first time in history, guys, where you have Gen X and younger. Guys, I'm 45. I live a great life. If this was 50 years ago, I'd be a grandfather. Bam. And now, most men throughout history will not, since the Industrial Revolution, men got married at 18, had 3 kids by the time that they were 24, and lived this life. Now, guys, it's the cheapest that it's ever been to actually be a bachelor, to wake up and say, other than getting up and going to work, as long as my bills are paid, I'm going to do what I want to do. And these feminists played themselves. Because how are you going to convince millennials, Gen X, and Gen Z, the first 3 generations of men in the West that are free, we're truly free, to give up our freedom, our peace? For what? For what? We have the power, guys. We have the power. And they're going to seriously, I want all you guys that are in this chat right now who've been divorced to stop and think, close your eyes and think about the peace that you have now. And then also in this chat, I want you to tell me yes or no, and if you can think of anything that's worth giving that up. I'll wait.
AJ, you have made the case that modern women in the West are negative value added in a man's life.
Yep.
I mean, you can't, they're negative value added. There's nothing that they do that adds to our values for men. You know, they are generally a drain on finances. They are a drain on mental energy, and they expect us to keep them entertained because they're very boring people to start with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do they give that is worth all their negatives? And frankly, you know, beyond intimacy, I'm sorry, post-intimacy clarity isn't worth everything that goes before and after. And, you know, what can you say when so much of their persona is built around being negative towards men every way that they can? I mean, frankly, if I hear some woman saying patriarchy in a sentence, I know they're functionally misandrous, and I don't want anything to do with them.
But the reason why they act this way is because men still choose to interact with them. And what I'm saying, this is why you look at why women get so angry as they get older. It's because male attention goes away. Guys, it's a lot easier to hear some 23-year-old hottie say some crazy stuff about men than some 60-year-old friggin' crypt keeper looking broad. Guys, how many times have you been like, I don't know, like you have that one friend whose girlfriend's hot and she just talks all kinds of mess, but you're the one guy who's just like not trying to have sex with her. So you're the one who's like, she always thinks that you're being mean because you're just like, you're stupid. You know what I mean? Like, have you guys ever been that guy where there's like, there's a social situation? Guys, put a 1. If you've been the guy who's not trying to have sex with any other girls there, and like the maybe 2 hot chicks are just saying all types of craziness because no guy has ever checked them before, because they're like, duh, maybe she'll sleep with me one day, duh. And you're just like, no, you're stupid. You don't believe that. That's dumb. What you're saying is stupid. Everything that you believe is dumb. Why? No one ever talks to me like that, because all guys are simps. You know what I'm saying? But guys, once I will stand 10 toes down and say this, guys. We are winning, and this is why I'm uncharacteristically optimistic about all this stuff, because I'm optimistic in life when it comes to this misandry stuff. I'm not. But guys, we are winning. Look at the divide between Gen Z men and Gen Z women. Gen Z men are not having it. They're not. And Gen Z women now are what? The oldest Gen Z is what, 26, 25, around there. In 10 years, she's going to have to try and find a way to incentivize Gen Z men to come back to the fold. And guys, millennial men are getting cooked and divorced en masse right now. If you guys see my analytics have always been your 45 to 65-year-old men, right? But guys, 35 to 40-year-old men are my fastest growing demographic. Why? Because 35 to 40-year-old men are getting divorced more than any other group of men. Yes, Trent, how old are you again, bud?
I'm 63.
Okay.
One of these days I'm going to run you about how toxic my divorce was. And I don't know if I'll do it on air, but suffice it to say that I got a 4-page, 7.5 side, single space written screed from my ex on her how polyamorous she was, and the things that she would do to not bring home diseases to me. And this is during the time we were getting marriage counseling, and she dropped this on me about an hour before I was to see my mental health counselor. So yeah, I understand from where how toxic modern women are. And, I had been at this point retired for 5 years, and I had a 7-figure retirement that we were living on the interest of, plus a separate federal retirement, plus healthcare, which was being subsidized to the tune of $4,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And she's lost that healthcare. I have to go back to work because she's taking enough out of my retirement that I have to go back to work at 63. I'm probably going to have to work till 70 to pay off my alimony and my child support. And this leaves out the fact that in 2 years that the house we were in would have had frozen increases in property taxes in Texas. So she's going to, for 13 more years, is going to be paying increased property taxes. And all because she wanted to have other men's privates in her private parts at 49.
Trent, I have a question for you. So how old are your kids? How much?
Currently, they're between 18 and 10. I've got 4 of them.
Okay. So you have a while left.
Yeah, I've got 10 years of child support.
Yeah.
So, and we were homeschooling them. So I'm being paying to pay half of that. And the amount of money that she got out of my retirement won't last 5 years if she doesn't go to work.
Yeah. Damn.
The amount of crazy that I'm dealing with here is and I had health issues in addition to that. Prostate cancer. And she dropped this. There are a bunch of other things that went down, but well, let's see. Another time, this actually deserves something where I
dude. Well, here, Trent. I'm gonna do another stream specifically on divorce, bro, and I need you to call in.
Okay.
I'll
get prepared for that.
Because Trent, this is a type of story that young guys need to hear.
Oh yeah, I mean, at this point,
and Trent, this is why the way that you speak, you are a very logical. You speak very clearly and concise. You seem like a very, very even-keeled guy, and when you talk about this, I can hear the change in your voice, right? Like it takes a lot to get a guy. I don't want to say out of his frame, but I can just hear the frustration. You know what I'm saying? And you don't seem
being
like the type of guy who gets like frustrated, pissed off, or hurt very easily. So what I'm saying is, guys, listen to what Trent has gone through. Like listen to the brief story that he's told us. And imagine, I'm not saying that your story is brief. I'm saying the brief amount that you've told us. That's what I'm saying, right? And imagine that this could be you one day if you're not careful. You know,
I would advise every single man to not get married ever until we get something on the order of DNA 1/200. Until we get something like that, it ain't anything. And we also get a prenuptial agreement that can't be busted by a state court judge. Until we get those two things together, men should not in any way get married in the United States ever. And I'm telling you right now, I will never get married again after what I've gone through.
Yeah.
And I'm, 3 of my 4 kids are boys, and I'm going to be telling them that the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not because, I was a very firm believer in marriage. I'm the oldest of 4 boys. My ex was the youngest of 4 kids. I vetted her. She was, came from a Christian family that had, kids. She wanted 4 kids. We had 4 kids. And then she lost her mind. And the number of things that she pulled during the course of my divorce are, it's a story that I'm very much willing to tell on the basis of don't become me. Stay away. This is a game that is so rigged against you that never, ever go near it.
Here, anything where the people who have nothing to risk or nothing to lose shame those who are taking the risk is not a game you want to play, guys. Think of this. Can you imagine if you were playing chess against a person that can't lose any pieces at all, and they're going to complain and they're going to ask you why don't you want to play? It's like, well, because you're not losing any pieces on the board. So it's impossible for you to lose. I'm the one who's losing pieces here. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. So, but yeah, Trent, are you in the Discord?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. Let's talk offline, and we'll actually do an actual live stream about this, and you can tell your story. You have the floor, because I know that there's a couple guys like Robbins Fly and a couple other guys that have been that have told their stories, and it would be good to have you guys on, and you can just have the floor, man. Seriously, just tell your story. Like a lot of guys, they can't put a face, well, other than if their dad or their uncle got cooked and divorced. But there's something about guys telling their stories in a forum like this that actually helps guys a lot. So yeah, man, we'll make a plan. I think it'll work out. So, but all right, guys, we're at the 2.5 hour mark, guys. I'll shut this down. We'll be live tomorrow. Well, guys, here, I think that I'll probably go live a little bit early tomorrow, guys, because I have something to do at 6:30. Guys, Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, me and Locke the Bounty Hunter are going to do a podcast. We're going to do a stream, just me and him, hanging out, shooting the shit, and they'll probably be pretty regular, because there's some concepts that we want to throw around. So, but all right, you guys, I appreciate you. Take it easy. Hey, thanks, Trent. I appreciate you, man. Call in more, okay? I appreciate you.
Which channel you want to meet in after this?
I gotta eat first, because
all right,
I fast all day long, and it's 7:40, and I haven't eaten all day. But I'll hit you up on your Discord name is this name, right?
Not this name. I think, I'm not sure. I don't know. I have to go look. Let me check.
Here. My name's in there's. It's AJ the Third. Just hit me up on and send me a friend request, okay?
All right, I'll do it.
Cool. All right, buddy. Take it easy.